Hey everybody, thanks for visiting us here at Free Game University, where we give you valuable information from various amounts of topics, 100% free. In today's topic, what we're going to discuss is how to build your credit score. And this is only part one of a two-part series. This video is going to focus on some of the core fundamentals to help start boosting that credit score to where you want it to be. Then, part two is going to show you how to make these fundamentals, take them, and accelerate yourself to walk amongst the credit elites. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right below, bottom right hand corner. So that way you'll know when we release the next video. Thank you. Alright. So if you watched our video on how the credit score is actually calculated, then you would have seen that the credit lenders have their own agenda. They have their own way of thinking, their own perspective. If you want to win this credit score battle, then you must learn to use the lender's perspective against them. Always utilize the lender's perspective as a tool. In addition to that, take note of the resources you have and use them to their maximum potential. So, tackling this from the lender's perspective, we'll start off with the first category that they analyze, which is payment history. This category is pretty self-explanatory. Just pay what you owe. Stay current on all your payments. I see some light bulbs out there going off saying, well, why didn't you say so sooner? I would have been done that. While others may say, it seems simple, but it's easier said than done. I have kids, I have a car note, and a billion other things to pay. But you want me to pay everything on time? And I'm sorry, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but I'm going to say the B word. You all know it. Budget. Build it into your budget, and you shouldn't have a problem. Want to know how to make a solid budget? Watch our Budgeting Basics video. Alright, enough with that. The next category is total amounts owed. What the lender wants to know is if the total available amount is being maxed out on the regular. We spoke a bit about credit card utilization for this category being key here, and it's recommended by the credit bureaus to refrain from going over the 30% threshold from whatever the max limit is. So, if your max credit limit is $100, you take 30% of that, and it'll give you, that's right, you guys got it on the nose, $30. $30 is a threshold that you don't want to go over on that specific credit card. That is, at least if you want to see your credit score go up. Well, how about a $200 limit? Well, the limit doubled, so just double the threshold. $60. Well, how about a $1,000 limit on my credit card? Well, $1,000 is just 100 with an extra zero. So what do you think is going to happen to our threshold? That's right. Add another 0. There's some smart cookies in the room today. But enough with the math lesson. Let's say you're already maxed out on your credit card and you're making monthly payments to get that annoying little sucker down to 0. Simple solution once again. Put the extra money from your budget and throw it towards your debts using the old reliable snowball method. You all will find out what that is exactly soon enough. But for now, don't let that debt just sit there and pile up saying, oh, I'll always be in debt. No. Take charge of your life and get in control of your dollars. Don't let your dollars control you. Don't let your dollars dictate your movements. You tell them what to do. Something as simple as a budget can now help you with 65% of your credit score. Now, let's talk about the next 15%, credit history length. If you're younger or simply just don't have a credit card, ask your bank what the minimum income limit is to apply for one. If you qualify, go ahead and get it. This here will establish your credit history. If you have credit cards already and you decide that you want to start canceling them away because your focus now is purchasing a new home, starting a new life, you want to leave the old you in the past. Wait just 1 minute. Believe it or not, the old you might have been on to something. And that's establishing credit history early. Now, if you want to go ahead and start canceling credit cards, by all means, go ahead. But don't you dare touch that oldest credit card, your first love. You may have had some bad memories with that card, but it's been with you through thick and thin. And I guarantee this card still has your best interests. Literally. How do I know that? Here's how. That card still has your oldest established history. The second you cancel that card, the history disappears. And that credit score drops faster than a high school senior's GPA. You all know what I mean. Most of us can relate. The senioritis. Keep that credit card around for a while. It's your first love, for Pete's sake. Use it to leverage the continuous growth on your credit score and get a lower interest rate on that mortgage payment. Get a candy bar with it every month. Then pay it off towards the end of the month, so it looks good on that credit utilization as well. It's funny how the little things make a big difference. Credit mix. Well, this is determined by diversity. So you have your first love, credit card number 1, revolving credit. And you'll probably need a car or something eventually. So what you can do is determine what you can afford. Take out that car loan. But hold on, get this. Pay half of the money up front. That way, you've set yourself up to automatically pay the loan off early. And you're working several different categories with one payment and a candy bar. Well, how about that? Isn't that lovely? The last piece is new credit. Now, as you're sitting in your car, your new car at that, that'll be paid off early, enjoying a candy bar, thinking, life is great. Don't get overzealous and start opening new lines of credit or making credit inquiries. Be strategic in your credit approach. A good piece of advice is to be especially careful when purchasing a home. We'll do a couple videos on home buying so you know exactly what to look for before you purchase the home. What wouldn't hurt too much, as long as you spread it out and execute this every year or two, is ask your credit card company or your bank to raise your credit limit every once in a while. You shouldn't see any negative effects if you do that, at least in the long run. Yes, your credit score will drop in the first month or two, but then it'll shoot back up again because credit utilization is worth more than new credit inquiries. Now, let's get into the different ranges and how they can be interpreted from the lender's eyes. 800 plus, the credit elites. Probably still with your first love, credit card number one, and you have a good mix of loans you've paid off, maybe a car and a personal loan or something of that nature, and you have a mortgage payment. And not only that, you have cash in the bank, maybe $10,000 or so at the least. 740 to 799. You got your credit card and maybe a car loan or something of that nature in there. And you're making steady payments and you're on track to pay it early. 670 to 739. You got a credit card that you use regularly, or maybe you have a student loan or something of that nature as well. 580 to 669. You may have a few delinquencies on your record. You might can work with a company to get it wiped off your record, but you're not doing too shabby. It's fair. 579 and below, come on, buddy. You know exactly why that score is down in the trenches like that. But if you use the tips from our videos, you too can walk amongst the credit elites. That concludes part 1 of how to build your credit score. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, so that way you'll see when we release part 2. This is Free Game University, the one-stop shop for valuable information, 100% free. Thanks for watching. Until next time.